Hey everybody. It's been a while since I've done a live. Um, Last couple days, I don't know what the hell I'm processing for the collective. I feel like complete and total shit. A lot of rage and anger about how I've been treated as a man in trying to meet societally the expectations that are openly shared about how men should treat and should honor women. Makes me want to vomit even to say that, but sitting in a whole pile of rage this last little while of interactions specifically with women, and I'm not trying to target women. Fucking I've been the most beautiful proponent for so long of women, but having to look underneath and start to see where I'm small and where I've been fucking castrated, I don't know how else to call it, in trying to meet these expectations that women have for men to make them feel safe, to make them happy, to please them, to be in relationships with them. And I'm going to apologize right now. It's going to be very direct and it may trigger some people. And I'm just calling and speaking because I see energies. I see how people are and how they interact. And I'm going to call them exactly for what they are. But there's a ton of all I can describe as immature, feminine, little girl energies that are going around and wanting to feel powerful. I know we have a feminism movement. I don't think it's doing what it was intended. It's created a lot of manly women that are deeply in their masculine and deeply in their control, and then fucking bitching all the time about where are all the good men gone when I don't even feel safe being in my masculine around half the women I know. Trying to have relationships with people like that. And I'm not saying anyone's bad. They're just playing out the societal conditioned role that we're talking about. But I'm fucking fed up with this bullshit. I know women that are agreeing with me that feminism has actually perverted and hurt women more than anything. I believe in women being powerful. I believe in women doing all these amazing things with their energy and their power. But when it's like women have to compare themselves with men or compete in the job market or whatever, it creates all this frigging narcissistic codependency that men have to give up their souls almost to serve a woman so that they can feel this empowered thing, and it's got so fucking out of control. I'll speak from my experience. There's absolutely no blame, but everybody's trying to meet this, but I can't have an argument with a woman and raise my voice without having somehow projected my masculinity on them and whatever, but they can scream and frigging yell at me, and the expectation is very one-sided. Where's the balance in kind of this stuff? Where is the ability to have integrity, follow through with your word? I honestly think, and this may trigger some people, but toxic masculinity is a result of women being too masculine. Everybody wants to blame the men for doing these things and not following through and not being in integrity when we're trying to match up to people that are in the masculine but aren't being in integrity in the same way. And eventually, after getting blamed and told that we're wrong or that we're not being truthful or whatever by people that aren't being truthful themselves, we end up trapped in this craziness in a world where we don't speak about our desires or we say we're not attracted when we're actually attracted because that's what keeps us safe as women. Men don't do that. It gets crazy. I'm just so looking at myself, I'm so lost in how to interact with this powerful woman that's in her masculine, that's not feeling feminine, but happens to be in a feminine body. And I have to hold back. I can't fight them like I would with a man, or punch or hit or whatever, because that would be something bad. And I don't want to punch or hit or women. But how do you interact with somebody that's not being integral when you can't talk to them? You can't raise your voice. You can't be direct. So I end up feeling like I got to be small all the time to respect women because of this double standard. And I always got to back down so that I don't be too aggressive and scare them. I always got to give up my power to allow them into my life, to have sexuality, to do all this stuff. It's like I castrate myself every time in trying to engage with women. And I got to this point over these last 2 days where these collective energies are coming in and just smashing the shit out of me. And I'm trying to figure out why. And I'm so angry because what me as a man thinks and what me as a man speaking of my truth is not permitted because it might make a woman feel small. But the balance is so fucked right now where the woman gets to say all her stuff. She can make calls and claims and stuff that may not even be truthful or whatever, and they're not held to the same integrity or whatever that I have to have as a man. So I'm kind of fucked. I just keep giving up my ability to walk in this world, to be powerful in this world, etc., because of this standard that says that I've got to do these things for women. And it's not spoke about. And everybody wants to sit and pretend that it's not there. And we got this mucked up, crazy dynamic in relationship, in being together as men and women, that's so far out of balance. Why should that be built on men? Or that men are always bad? They're the patriarchy and they've always belittled women. I see very, very many women that are completely in their power. And I see very, very, very many women that aren't direct and are completely manipulative because of this feminism dynamic and all these things in this world. I'm not blaming, but I need to be able to call it out a little bit. And to express some anger at the little girl bullshit that I see going on in the world. And I saw somebody did a little laughing face in the middle of my frustration. Well, that's the little girl energy. Would you not want to support a man in his power expressing how he's felt and how he's felt belittled by women and trying to honor them in this way? I shouldn't have to feel belittled to be a man, to be vocal, to be able to speak about my truth just because supposedly I'm going to tell you right now, this patriarchy bullshit is a bunch of bullshit. There's a lot of women that were driving the boat from behind, and it wasn't all about the men hurt the women and all this kind of stuff that everybody keeps talking about. It's about we had balance, and nobody's agreeing that there was a balance. This bullshit of calling men and saying they're bad and they're not enough and they're not being in their power and where have all the good men gone? Just emasculates and emaciates us men. We're just like, how the fuck can we ever please you? So today I had to make a choice. I am not pleasing fucking women anymore. I'm not being nice. I'm not holding my feelings back because it was killing me. I was like a fucking ball of pain and suffering trying to meet this. And I'm not anymore. And if that doesn't make you feel good, well, maybe go look at it. Because I'm not saying anything that isn't truth. And I'm not blaming. I'm saying societally, we're being asked to do shit that's fucking both sides up. And we really need to get truthful about it so that we can start to talk and share and be back in balance again. Men aren't bad. Women aren't bad. Everybody's done the best with what they've been given. And stop talking about men are bad or women are bad. It's not permitted that men even talk about it. So it's really not even there. But women will go for hours and hours and hours on about how men have hurt them and they're victimizers, and all men do is send dick pics and all this kind of fucked up shit that just emaciates men. We are wounded and hurt, and we don't know how to have sexuality in a world where nobody talks directly about sexuality. We're living in lack. We have a lot of no touch. And we're hurting. Simple as that. We're hurting. And we just want to be heard that we're hurting. And we want to have conversations that says, what do you want? What do I want? Be honest. And then we don't have to hurt. We don't have to injure each other because we're so full of rage and we've never had an outlet for it to have a discussion. Because that's happening with a lot of men. And women may say they're unhappy and have their own emotions. Speak about it. I want to hear it. Share your life. Be angry, be frustrated, whatever. But no, it's just this little nitpicking from behind that men aren't good enough and they're not being there or whatever. Well, what the fuck do you want? If you're a woman and you're thinking this is bad, what do you want from me? What do you want from me as men? What do you want from us that will please you other than us standing in what we feel is right for us? And give an invitation. Hey, I want to talk about that. Why are you feeling sad? Whatever. Let's get out and help men talk about emotion. And show us how you want to be held or received in your emotion. I'm going to conjecture a lot of men don't even know how to interact with women. We're sitting in our feminine. We're trying to be something that we're not. And we're so confused. Because we can't go up against that masculine. We can't go up against the women that are standing in their feministic rights. And I give all the power to it. I want men and women to be absolutely equal, but not in this way. So this is very old and very painful, what's inside here, this thing that's just sitting in there, and I'm trying my best to express it in the most vulnerable way without blame, but it's there. And I hurt, and I don't know what to do with it. It's rage, it's absolute grief. Maybe it's just mine, and maybe I wasn't meant to process it here. I don't give a flying fuck. I need other people to hear that this is true, and the frustration's real, and men don't need to carry these wounds and suffering alone. Because I haven't felt for the level of support and beautiful sharing and giving of love to women. Most of my experiences with women has been that hard side, that little girl experience where they just wanted to take and they wanted me to be different or better, but never would tell me about it, and then threw me away when they judged me. And I really like, and I've got some really wonderful women in my life right now that are supporting me, and I'm so grateful for it. And it's a beautiful softness that I'm seeing in women now, rather than this masculine, really unhappy little girl sometimes. And I just maybe ask you, look, women that are listening to this, to the men that are around you, and maybe see underneath that they've got some pain and they've got some hurt and they've been emasculated and they don't really know how to be men anymore. Sometimes it's only just an invitation away. What's hurting you? What's going on? And just understand that we've got some rage going on. Just like women have rage, there's an equal and opposite for men as well. But we're just here to grin and bear it, apparently. So, I love you all, and I thank you for your support. Thank you, Sarah, for your comment. You've been very supportive. I'm appreciating. I hope this helps maybe some women to see the man's heart and the softness underneath, and how he's trying to do his very best to be whatever you want, but I don't think it's clearly stated. and then everybody's unhappy that we didn't meet some undeclared expectation. So we're a little bit lost. So I love you. Always vulnerable, always trying to speak as purely from my experience as possible. Not very often I get into tears on here, but I'm just feeling very hurt and frustrated right now. So love you all. We'll talk soon. Have a good day.